Hi, my name is Adam Pugh and I'm from Carleton University in Ottawa. I study earth sciences, and currently we're cruising through Iceberg Alley, which is just south of Antarctic Sound, and it's about 9 in the morning right now. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. So we've been seeing a lot of ice this morning, finally, a lot of seals, whales, a lot of birds too, and everybody is out on deck trying to get a good glimpse of the scenery here. We're off to Seymore Island right now, and I'm really excited because on Seymore Island we have one of the world's exposures of the KT boundary, which is a geological contact between the Cretaceous and the Tertiary period. Right now we just arrived on Seymore Island. We just came up the beach right here, and we are just about to go on a hike up to the KT boundary, and we're hoping to see some interesting fossils and some really nice sedimentary rocks. This class that I'm taking from Carleton University it's really interesting because we get out of the classroom, we get to experience geology in the real world and these localities that really very few people have actually seen or studied. This place is very barren and very desolate. It's not flat whatsoever. It has quite a bit of vertical topography. However, a lot of the material that we're actually walking on is very soft, very unconsolidated, as opposed to it being completely covered in ice. This is very barren. It's very dry. It's very much like a desert right here. However, there is still quite a bit of water, as you may be able to see. And all the ice that's still hanging on the sides of the hills is right now melting and feeding into some small rivers, which I expect are also going to be very muddy. Hike update, we are still hunting for our boundary. The material here is a little bit more difficult to hunt down. And the strata aren't as well exposed as we would have liked, but we're still in the progress. This is what happens with geology. We are looking for it, and we're doing our best to identify where exactly we are in the stratigraphic column right now. Currently, we are in one of in between a couple concretion beds, and this is kind of scree in between. It's a little bit less resistant material, but as you can see, there are certain boulders that are more resistant, and they've fallen from layers that are just up above us here. And we believe that within, I guess, this 15 to 20 meters of section exists our KT boundary. And unfortunately, because of all the scree, it might be very difficult for us to actually pinpoint exactly where it is. However, we know that it exists within this 15 to 20 meters of section. And as you can see, even from a few of these simple broken sections, there are quite a few fossils that actually exist in these rocks here. And these are remnants of mollusks, gastropods. We still have yet to find any cephalopods, which are things like ammonites. It's like traveling back in time, back into a time when, you know, this area was once covered with things like massive forests, basins, oceans, and tons of water. And some of these rocks identify times when the water itself would have had to reduce to less than 200 meters in depth. And that's where we find something called the glauconite. And that glauconite is found in some of these more resistant layers, we believe. But I think that by having the students come here to Antarctica and see the actual geology in context and in situ, it's going to really open their eyes to seeing Antarctica was such a diverse realm. It was a beautiful continent at one time that was covered with lush forests, and then at other times it was covered in oceans and water. And knowing that and seeing that in the rocks and in the rock record really changes, well, my mind specifically in terms of how I see Antarctica, as well as I believe a lot of my peers that are on this course as well.